Is it running?
Yeah, it's running. Go.
Oh, okay. Hello, we are Retro Addicts. I'm the nephew, of course. This is my uncle. We are collecting old and new games. We're doing Let's Plays. We'll do collection updates of what we got, new and old. I'm more of a new, he's more of the old.
Yard sales, thrift store, game hunting, you know, nothing new, but it's ours, and we're going to try to do the best we can at it. So, let's dive in.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Xbox 360. We got right here, Binary Domain. I got it off a Game Exchange for about 20 bucks. It's an alright little game. I mean, it's RPG, first person shooter, but I mean, it ain't the best I play. We've got PlayStation 3, Lost Planet Extreme Conditions. Very simple-minded game. I mean, kind of a short story, but I mean, it's a decent story, and I didn't pay but $4.95 for it.
It's not bad.
Now this right here, ladies and gentlemen, Resident Evil 6. This is probably a game of 2013 for me. It has 4 campaigns on it. You can play Leon, Chris Redfield, and Ada Wong, and also you can play as Jake Wesker's son if you're a Resident Evil addict. I mean, this is awesome. It has mercenaries, and it also has this thing called Agent Hunt, which is Resident Evil's version of zombies for Call of Duty. And I paid around 20 bucks for it.
I think whenever I get a new Xbox 360, I'm going to have to rob this one from you for a few days.
Definitely worth the pickup. I mean, cannot complain about it. Now this one, Gears of War Judgment, also good co-op. I mean, if you and a buddy want to get out at your house and play, this is definitely the one to do it. Paid around $18 for it. Gears of War Judgment Day, awesome story. You definitely have to play the others to know what's going on, but the story altogether for all of them, I mean, it's a great story. I definitely play them all the time. And my last one that I have is 360, The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. This game, I mean, graphics ain't too well, but what do you expect for a first starter AMC game? I mean, it's based off the hit series, good game all around. You play as Daryl the redneck, of course, always.
Redneck.
Big fans. Daryl is the main character in that one, and his brother Merle. And I mean, y'all go through all sorts of stuff. You go from unarmed to being armed with crossbows, knives, hammers, anything you can get your hands on, basically. I mean, it's real live zombie. Like I said, not greatest graphics, but hey, they'll get better on the way. There's also another one. I think it was one that came out before this one.
It was.
Now that
was
one,
more of a point and click adventure type game.
Yeah, that one I wasn't a big fan of, but I mean, I like a little challenge in my games, you know. But it was alright. Graphics was terrible, of course, but
made by Activision, who is pretty well becoming known for cranking out shovelware.
Yes.
But it's still a good game.
I paid $22. Definitely a pickup. Good time waster. I love it.
Now, for mine. Now, I've got considerably more than he does. Of course, I've been collecting a lot longer than he has. And this is just like over the last month to month and a half worth of stuff for us. So we thought for first video, let's just kind of go all out with what we've had. So, first up, I have Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis. It's okay. You know, first attempt at a 3D game, and you know, if you can find it cheap enough, I paid $4 for it. If you can find it cheap enough, definitely worth the pick up and look at. Second, I have Eternal Champions for Sega Genesis. I remember borrowing it from a friend back in middle school and absolutely loving the game. think I paid $3 for it, and it came in, and I was very disappointed. It is nothing like I remember. But it's good shelf filler, and you know, it's fun for playing 2-player every now and then. Mortal Kombat's a lot better.
Definitely, if you have the cash, pick up Sega Genesis. If you do not have one, cheapest game system, you can buy games for it all day, 5 and under. I mean, definitely, that is a console you need if you consider you a game collector.
And speaking of Mortal Kombat, I have Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3. Now, I do have these complete in box, but my wife and I are staying at my mother-in-law's house for a little while. Her dog just had puppies, and we really ain't got enough room for a bunch of puppies at my place. So I took them out of their box and brought them here just because it was a lot easier to bring the loose carts as opposed to the whole, box and everything. But I picked them up at a local pawn shop for $5 a piece. Like I said, complete inbox, manual, warranty card, everything. I thought that was a real good deal for $5 a piece.
Definitely. Mortal Kombat's one of my favorites of all the systems. I couldn't pick a better 2D fighter game.
I have a Sega Genesis Game Genie. I think I wound up paying around $5 all in on eBay for it. So it's a Game Genie. You use it to cheat on games. What can you say? Alright. Next I have Road Rash 2 for Sega Genesis. It's one of those really goofy, oddball, tall, stupid shaped carts. I freaking hate these things, but it's a good game. I picked it up at a local thrift shop for $4. So I'll buy that all day long.
Like I said, these games are cheap. Definitely get Sega Genesis games. I mean, there are a lot of nice games on it, and they're cheap. I mean, $5 and under. I ain't heard him say over 5 yet.
Complete inbox Taz Escape from Mars. I think I picked this up at Game Exchange for $3.95 plus tax. And for a complete inbox game, I'm buying that all day long. It don't matter. It's just makes perfect sense to me. Alright. Oh yeah.
While he's getting that, definitely shout out to Game Exchange. Definitely check those out. Cheap games all day long, movies, whatever you need, they got.
Yeah, everything from Atari on up to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. They have everything. And we just got a Game Exchange maybe a month ago, and which is spectacular for me considering I stopped shopping at GameStop a year and a half ago. I'm not going to get into that right now. Anyway, I picked this up at a local antique shop for $5. What the is it, you want to know? It's an old cassette tape holder. Now, what I found out, these old cassette tape holders, you can get them with drawers like this, or you can get them to hang on your wall. I'm still looking for one that hangs on the wall where I can display everything. But Sega Genesis cartridges fit perfect in them. Close it up, and you have all your games in one little area protected. So when I found this for $5, yeah, I'm buying that all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Alright. Next, I have this freaking huge Super Nintendo Game Saver. I think I paid $10 for it off of eBay, and You know, I just thought, what the heck. There's, most games on Super Nintendo that, are long enough to need to save, already have a save battery in it, but some of them don't, so I figured I might as well just go on and pick this up just to have.
And I mean, who really wants to play a game all night and do stuff, get halfway through the game and decide you're really tired and want to go to bed, and yet it can't save, so I mean, you're back at step one again in the morning.
Alright, I picked up a Game Boy Advance SP. It's the AGS 101 with the brighter, good, brighter backlit screen. Paid $30 for it. It's a little high, but I was really wanting one, and that was the cheapest I'd found because they're going for stupid prices on eBay, and I wasn't going to pay, $40, $50, $60 for a, outdated system like this. It's ridiculous. I mean, for just a little bit more, I could go on Craigslist or something and buy a Nintendo DS. Along with that, for $5.95 plus tax, I picked up a copy of Wario Land 4 on Game Boy Advance. This is an awesome game. I love all the Wario Lands.
Definite pickup. Definite.
On eBay for, I think this was $14, picked up a teal Game Boy Color. It's in really good condition. Very light scratching, on the screen, and I mean very light. It's not dirty. Good battery terminals. Powers up, plays games just fine. Don't even have to do the all the time to try to get a game to work.
I'm actually currently working on my Game Boy collection. I have a Game Boy Advance regular, but I'm really wanting to gather them all up like he has over here.
I have a Game Boy Pocket. I think I paid right at $15, $16 for this on eBay. Works perfectly. Contrast adjusts fine. Battery terminals are clean. I mean, this thing is almost in perfect condition. There's only 2 or 3, very fine scratches on the screen. No damage to the casing whatsoever. A little bit of damage to the label back here, but that's it. For $15, $15, $16, I'll buy that all day long. I know you can find better, deals, but it's pretty slim pickings in our area. We live in a very small town in Mississippi, so
I mean, not many gamers around here. Most of us are out woods country. That's about it. But I don't know. We just have always had this passion for the old and new games. We love them. It helps us escape the problems that real life has. So I mean, of course, we would want to start collecting and have a lot more in our library. So this is how this come about. And I mean, we're gonna do it from here on out. I mean, we hope you subscribe and like it.
For $5.95, I picked up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Game Boy Color, and I know I could get a better deal on it than this, but with Game Exchange just now being in, I want to try to give them all the business I can. I want to try to keep them here as long as humanly possible to compete with GameStop, because I'm telling you, if there's a Game Exchange anywhere around you, they're going to give you the best deal as far as my experience with them. So try to give them your business whenever you can.
I mean, and also you can't have a Game Boy without having Tony Hawk.
I mean come on. Me and him, I was back on PlayStation 1 when the first Tony Hawk's. It's when he was still younger, just getting into video games, and that's mine and his thing. Tony Hawk's, we loved all the Tony Hawk's games.
Definitely.
Until they started getting stupid with that ridiculous board controller thing. It's just ignorant, but that's what Activision does. They take a good franchise and turn it to crap. More on that later. Okay. Alright, Sorry about that. Memory card ran out of, well, memory. So, yeah, that's a great way to start off a first video. Yay us. Anyway, I think I left off right here. For $2, I got the Nintendo Game & Watch Gallery. It's a crappy game. They wanted $3 for it. I offered them $2. They said sure. So, crappy little game, but that's something. It's something to add to the collection. I got for $5.95. Good save.
Yeah.
I got Super Mario Land 2 at 6 golden coins for Game Boy. Duh. Anyway, again from Game Exchange. Like I said, I tried to give them all the business I can right now. eBay purchase came in a lot with an original Game Boy and several games. When I got this Game Boy, it had a lot of dead vertical lines, but if you go online and look, it's actually a very easy fix with even a hair dryer and pencil eraser or something to refloat a solder, and I got it fixed. And I actually contacted the guy about maybe returning it, because it had dead lines in it and stuff. And he said no worries, refunded my money. I asked him about a return address where I could send it back to him, and he said don't worry about it, just keep it. So I got the Game Boy and 8 games for free. So everybody out there hating on eBay, yeah, prices can be ridiculous, but for the whole lot, I won it for like $18 for an original Game Boy and 8 games. So at $18, I didn't think that was too bad of a deal. That's still less than retail, especially considering a lot of the games I got with it.
I mean, if you'll be patient, you'll find good deals on eBay, awesome deals, but you just gotta sit there and wait it out.
And in that lot, was Mortal Kombat. I've done traded off a lot of the other games I got, just, because, I didn't really play them that much, and, there's other games I really wanted, like Mortal Kombat. And I got a Game Shark Pro for Game Boy Pocket and Game Boy Color. So, it's a Game Shark. What do you want me to say? Alright, for I think $26, I got this Sega Game Gear. It came with brand new batteries, which lasted all of about 5 minutes because these things suck batteries like a fish drinks water. It also came with Garfield Caught in the Act. Crappy game. Just bad. So that will be traded in soon, probably. But I also bought along, at the same time, a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Game Gear. So, the Game Gear is also another system that is very cheap to collect for if you can get a working console at a good price. The games are very cheap. I think I paid $3 for this. The games are all mostly less than $5. There's a few that are a little higher up there, but most of them are that I have found that I'm personally interested are $5 or less. So not bad.
Well, I mean, every console is gonna have that franchise that goes really big, and I mean, over the years gets really big in value. So I mean, you're gonna run into that with every console you have.
Yeah, just like Pokemon on Nintendo. I mean, Pokemon games, even the old, the old original Game Boy ones, they're still, $20, $30 something. Oh yeah. I don't have this here, but as a Christmas present from my mom, she got me the Hyperkin Retron 3. It's actually a very good system. I haven't had any issues with playing any games, even, Star Fox and, Super Mario and, RPG and all that. I haven't had any issues with it at all. I've even had a friend with Super Nintendo Super Scope. I've heard people say that it don't work with the Super Scope, and we did. But what we had to do is we had to put a piece of tape over the infrared sensor that's actually on the Retron, and once we did that, the Super Scope worked. It may just be a fluke, something that happened to us, I don't know. So, but if you have one and you want to use your Super Scope or your Menacer or something like that with it, it's worth a try.
Definitely, as soon as it comes out, Retron 5, it will be able to play 9 game systems in total, correct?
Yes.
9 game systems.
Has five cartridge slots. It plays Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Famicom, Super Famicom, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, I believe. So keep an eye out when it launches. I think it's supposed to launch for around the $9,900 mark. So I'm definitely going to be watching it. Maybe once the price drops to, maybe the $70 or so range, I'm probably most likely going to pick one up.
And I know that a lot of you collectors out there, you want to buy the original system. You want to buy the original controllers. Well, as all means, buy them, do it. But yet, you don't want to have that original system or that original controller, and you and some friends are over and y'all are playing, and somebody runs and snatches it off the table or something, breaks it. What happens then? Why don't you just go ahead, buy them, then buy you Retron.
The Retron as the party system.
Exactly. Pull that out when everybody's over.
Basically what I have mine for. And I went a step further and bought these Tomy controllers. For right now I have Super Nintendo and Sega. I'm supposed to go get some regular Nintendo ones as well. So they work fine. Nothing wrong with them. They're just, not original. The buttons are a little stiff at first. But, if you're gonna have a party or something, have some people over, and you don't want your original stuff to get, damaged or messed up, they're definitely, even the Retron 3, or the Retron 2, or the FC Twin, or whatever, or the FC3, whatever your preference is. I personally prefer the Retron because it can use original hardware or accessories, controllers, whatever you want to call these things. But that's up to you. But it's definitely good to have that you can sit out, especially if you want to have games in the house or something, or if you have a game room but you want something set up in the living room. This is a very good option for that.
And before I forget, because I'm bad at this, but comment, tell us what you think about this video and everything, but also comment or message or anything you want to do to us if you have anything for sale, if you'll ship, because we are open to
we buy, sell, trade. I have an active, open PayPal account, so it's good. We understand that we're newcomers, so we will, if we feel comfortable with the deal, then we're willing to ship first to, get us a reputation in the YouTube community built up. So, like I said, just like, comment, subscribe, check us out on Facebook. I'll put the link down here somewhere. So, but that's it for now. We're the Retro Addicts. Peace.